Hello, I wanted to do a quick video and review this trending video that is on YouTube. And I was thinking about, before this video even came up, I was thinking about doing a video on how we learn and how we understand and perceive our reality, and how literally how we do it, and how the education system is designed to tell us how to do that, how to think, how to perceive, how to teach, how to learn, how to understand, how to understand, if at all, how to overstand, if at all. It's all this shallow programming and conditioning, even to our religious people who take everything that they learn from their ministers or pastors or church people, interpreting something else that was interpreted by something else, that was written by somebody else, that was interpreted by somebody else. It's all this second-hand version of reality, to where there's that space that exists, like the TV shows always say, well, 3,000 scientists or experts have studied, or theories have been created, and that's just another version of, 10,000 ministers said this about the Bible, and then whatever it is, it's the how we believe, because there's that world that exists, and then there's the world of intuition and claircognizance and clairaudience, and being able to feel your understanding, which is like an inner standing, and being able to interpret compassionately what those understandings and understandings are, into an overstanding of how that reflects to individuals outside of yourself. And I was really just caught up in that moment before this video started, and I went down the trending to see what kind of programming is going on today. And this was a perfect video to go about it, because it pretty much explains everything about the specifics of how we believe what we believe in relation to the flat earth, and the counter understandings of the Mandela effect, and because a lot of people just like to fight just to fight, because that's how they've been conditioned. That's what competitive sports is all about, the gladiator arena. That's what politics is all about. That's what competition as a whole is all about in this patriarchal system. That's how we learn. I have family members who learn from yelling. They gotta yell just to get some kind of engagement going, so they can get some feedback. And that's just the way they've been raised, or the way they've created a space to allow themselves to open up. It's the vulnerability space that has been locked down, and we've been desensitized by the television, by the education system, by separation from our true source, our true realizations, our true connections with each other and ourselves. And we've kind of let go of that which is natural understanding, and have replaced it with this artificial understanding, or artificial information gathering. A perfect example would be old school people and new school people, who, and certain people in certain groups will understand this a lot easier than some people will take offense to it, but other people know exactly what I'm talking about when I say a lot of people won't understand or believe something, our belief systems. People won't believe anything until a white person says it, specifically a white male says it, or a group of white, or a whole bunch of white people say it, because of the supremacy system, the white supremacy system that we've been conditioned by with the whole colonial state of being, and the university system, the education system, the way everything is designed, Hollywood, everything that we see in the mainstream, mainstream television, mainstream news, mainstream doctors, superheroes in Hollywood, teachers in the public education system, leaders of your so-called free world. It's all a one-sided perspective that has been amplified by fear, largely, when you see the majority of the planet who have been part of war, or been persecuted by war and destruction all over the world. It's this conquering mentality, this Iron Age perspective that has leaked into the very consciousness of the people, to where we don't even know how to intuit. We don't even know how to do the things that are natural anymore, because we have traded them in for this artificial connection, this artificial understanding, where people that say like it's okay to be smart, like this whole smart agenda, like who says what smart is? Like, smart doesn't mean wise. Actually, smart is counterbalance to wise in this respect, because this idea of smart, like smart meters, smart water, smart guns, all this smart phones, smart this, smart that, it's all to make you vest your energy in what you have been told to, what as to be what is smart, instead of understanding wisdom, which is a perfect example of that would be like when the colonizers of the old school went over and told everybody that they were savages because they do whatever. The indigenous people, it's like you conquer the indigenous people and tell them they're savages. You tell them their God is wrong, install a religion. You tell them their studies are wrong, install a university system. You tell them their living conditions are wrong. You install some kind of republic that's based upon what you value in your control grid, and you just have to maintain it with these time stealing and mind stealing perspectives and tools, and the television is one of them. University, Big Bang Theory stuff is another one. And this video, I'll just play it now and kind of set it up completely so you can see it for yourself, see what I'm talking about, and just hear from the perspective that I just kind of like set down. And I'll stop it here and there, but just hear how this commercial is sold to you, your reality, teaching you how to learn and how to understand everything, because the television is one of the biggest ones, and they're going to show you how it relates directly to the Big Bang. It's okay to be smart. We're smart. We have NASA and television.
In 2009, when television converted to digital broadcast, the beginning of the
Shifting gears.
off the air. A small amount of the crackling static on an old TV was radiation from the universe's youngest days. In the first few seconds after the Big Bang, the universe was a sea of free electrons and atomic nuclei, so unbelievably hot and dense that not even photons could escape.
So the Big Bang is in the television.
Eventually, a few 100,000 years later, things spread out and got cool enough that neutral atoms could form, and the first light finally went streaming out.
It's like how this guy is. He is like the poster board for the word smart.
light in the universe. Until
The
early
university
gravitational waves
system,
to form the
smart.
first stars. Today, light from stars is the only glow we can see in the night sky, but in every direction, hiding in the background, is the first light, the earliest picture of the universe that we can see.
And it's in the TV.
Cosmic microwave background. Now, it gets that name because along their 13.7 billion year journey, those first photons have been stretched and cooled by the expanding universe, drawn from visible wavelengths down to microwaves and radio waves. Even though you can't see it with the naked eye,
The tone of his voice, the flow, the velocity, the pitch, everything is like this is a picture perfect example of the smart agenda. How we learn, how we think, how we perceive. We don't even think for ourselves. This style, if you were to see his style as like compare it to a minister or a pastor who's gotta tell you, gotta make you believe. It's gotta make you believe and understand this stuff from the book. The holy book of the television. Like, they gotta tell you this shit. He's no different than that shit. This is what this whole cosmic afterglow Neil deGrasse Tyson shit is. It's the same stuff. They put these smart people out in front of you, and then you just believe. You gotta believe in the Big Bang. Believe in this, and you will reach your salvation of that new iPhone 10. You will make it.
still catch it. Every time you tune your FM dial between stations, you turn your radio
to
into
the
an
Big
accidental
Bang.
telescope. It's not a very good one. But that's fitting, since the discovery of the cosmic microwave background itself was a radio accident. In 1964, Arno Penzias and Bob Wilson at Bell
A
Labs
globe,
were trying to use
the
a giant radio
satellite.
dish to bounce transcontinental radio communications off big, shiny balloons.
This is
placed in
how
orbit.
we got
Project
smart.
Echo. I guess before cell phones, we were willing to try anything. The Bell
Project
Labs dish in New
bullshit.
Jersey had to be incredibly sensitive to pick up the weak signals, which also meant it picked up a lot of natural interference. But even after correcting
This is for your
all that,
child
Wilson and
mind.
Penzias couldn't get rid of
This
one
is to make
mysterious
you-
bit of static.
This is one of those videos that you used to see in like 4th grade or something when it was like really cool, like when the TV got turned on, because you spend 5 hours out of the day staring at the teacher, hoping, trying to make the teacher walk over to the TV and put like some kind of video on from the Science Channel or Nova or PBS or something. Like, oh, please, let's just take a break from this bullshit job we called school and watch a cool video with Bill Nye and tell us about biology and the Big Bang and dinosaurs and all that shit. That's what this video is for adults. So if you're at work, which is just like school for a kid, then you can take a break and watch this video and trigger that mentality.
No matter where in the sky they pointed
Program
the antenna,
yourself.
day or night, the static was there. It didn't come
So
from
they're
the
saying,
sun or anywhere
so they're saying that static is the Big Bang. Like the TV caught proof of the Big Bang, and this is your proof of how they did that. And you so it makes you believe not only in the Big Bang more, not only in the globe theory, not only in the heliocentric model, but believe that the television is also, like, believe in it. It's the television is the Bible
in our
for the Big
galaxy.
Bang.
They even cleaned the pigeon poop off the dish, and still the noise continued. When they
They're
heard
trying to
that
get
other
comedy,
scientists formulating the foundations
smart
of the
people.
Big Bang theory
This
were
is
going
it.
in search of
Blah, blah, blah,
microwaves
blah, 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 blah,
precisely
blah.
in the range they heard their mysterious static, they
Blah blah
suddenly
blah blah.
realized they
That's
found
exactly.
the echo of the Big Bang. The splotches in the cosmic
He
microwave
fills in
background are tiny.
his personality, like his style of interaction fills in the spaces of the blah 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 blah. He makes it. He's a younger, so-called smart looking dude to make you believe. So we don't even know how to learn anymore. We don't know how to think because we have all these so-called smart people to think for us. We've turned off our thinking caps and our intuitive wisdom spaces to be a part of the capitalist system, the university system, the whole codependency program has leaked into how we even learn. We've downloaded it into our relationships. We've downloaded it into how we raise our children. We've downloaded it into how we think, how we learn, and how we evolve as a whole internally, like becoming closer and closer to understanding our true essence, our true reality. Because when we are broken down to this cosmic afterglow, which is a cosmic mistake from the cosmic Big Bang, then and you automatically turn straight to the evolution program, which is the monkey mind, and then you are being tethered, you're being pulled along your world by people who know about the system that they created for you to know. So your learning, your intelligence, your smartness comes from these smart people who put themselves on this television, who have caught the picture or a glimpse of the Big Bang on the television. That's what all that stuff is, to make you believe in the inherent story of the whole control grid itself. So you are a codependent blob, a star turd with no intelligence, because it comes from the smart people who are on the television and in the university.
Fluctuations in density. Just 1 part in 100,000.
This is how they create the universe. This is the artificial universe.
Lumpiness to let little blips condense into bigger and bigger blips, eventually seeding the stars and galaxy clusters that make up our everything. This early picture has helped scientists
we trust these people and the way they are so much. Look, he even looks like that dude. We trust these people so much that we can't even take a moment to say, like, if for example, if you're watching this video right now and you're like, oh, this guy's crazy or whatever, but if we can't even allow ourselves to, like, if you're watching this and you completely believe in the globe model, then you can see that we can't even allow ourselves to think differently, even for a moment. There's something wrong with that, like to totally let go of what we've been trained to believe. We can't even let go for a moment to even entertain another perspective for a moment, because you can't if something is real to you, if it's your truth, you should be able to challenge it to the umpteenth degree, because it's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to lose yourself. You're not going to lose who you are by thinking about something else from a different perspective. It's not going to happen if it's deeply rooted in truth. But the thing is, our truth, what we call our truth, is rooted in a lot of the times what other people have downloaded to or conditioned us to believe. So belief is different than truth. It's a perspective of a truth. Because I used to believe in a lot of shit 2, 5, and 10 years ago, and a lot of it doesn't even matter today, because I challenged myself to look somewhere else. So I would challenge people who are still having difficulty seeing something differently. Don't look at it as so much of, it's either round or flat or this or that, but really just start to see how we learn, what we've learned, where it came from, who told us, and what else are they connected to. You can piece together like a cartoon version of understanding of what this they program is in relation to like the university system, NASA, the colonial program, the supremacy program, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex. All this stuff is definitely connected. It's harnessing energy. It's harnessing energy, and it's separating consciousness as a whole and installing this smart agenda, this smart, so-called smart thing. And if you can for a moment just say, these people are full of shit. Like everything, like I had to explain to my mom the other day about dinosaurs. We were talking about dinosaurs, and I was just had to go into that whole evolution program and relate it to the Big Bang television show, and that whole thing. And even still, it was still kind of like difficult to comprehend, because it's connected to so much. I mean, the older we are, the more our beliefs are rooted within our reality. So it's harder to uproot ourselves from those perspectives. And when we have stuff like the internet, it makes those roots go deeper, because we have such a velocity, so much direct connections to information. And if we get this information that's full of shit direct so quickly, then it's going to be harder for people to believe. And that's what the program is all about, with the whole technological installation in our consciousness as a whole. The artificial grid, the artificial intelligence is merging into the forefront, like a television being installed into your head and removing your brain or your pineal gland.
The universe looks the way it does today. So whether you're basking in the young light of the noonday sun or standing under the ancient light of the stars at night, remember you're always bathed in the forever light of the
TV.
Afterglow. Stay curious. Our energy currency is ATP.
So,
like a token that gives you one play at the cell.
Yeah, this is this nonsense. And you can see it's linked in. They have all these other videos that are on the side. Are you smarter than a slime mold? Like 12 days of evolution. I didn't even look at these yet. Why seasons make no sense. Who shares your birthday? Like all this same guy, his face. So you want to go to Mars? Like this is the whole program. Could Bigfoot really exist? Everything that's on television. How many Bigfoot shows are on TV right now? How many alien abduction shows are on TV right now? Are all part of this agenda of merging your this is why they never find Bigfoot or whatever. It's all because they want to put people out there to. It's the insecurity, unsure, a little bit of sprinkle in, a little bit of fear, but mostly just have people out there looking for stuff, just like they're looking for whatever in so-called space. With NASA, they're looking for Bigfoot in the space of nature. With your university system and all this other, external stuff. How do bees make honey? So they sprinkle it in with simple stuff, like simple science and basic stuff, to get you to and then lock it in with sex and comedy. It's all a code. So it's pretty much all I wanted to get out there with this video in this moment. And because even with all the flat earth, the Mandela effect, the CERN, all this stuff that we are unveiling, it really doesn't matter, like in relation to how we learn, how we perceive our reality, how we understand. Another way to address or approach this whole system is to approach it from the space of how, as opposed to why. Like, because why is aggressive a lot of the times. Why gives a lot of people the position to have to defend themselves. But when you or defend what they've been conditioned to learn and regurgitate when something comes at them, but when you address the perspective of how we learn, how we been conditioned, how we understand what we understand, and how that's connected to all these other things that are based upon our separation and our actual self-destruction internally and externally, then it's just another way to approach it, because it's difficult at times to even want to bring this stuff up, or even talk about it, because the how of it all is so big. Like we like if I were to dress up in like a professor suit and put this on some $1 million smart, it's okay to be smart TV show, then look how many people would be receiving it. Like it would like this came out like today or yesterday, day before yesterday, and 60,000 views, and this whole thing is because that layer of our reality, that layer of learning, of how we learn, the focus, like our eyes, we see things with our eyes, is like that tuning that radio station. It's tuned into the static instead of us tuning into our natural channels, our natural connections to hearing with a deeper ear and seeing with a deeper eye. So this whole shift of understanding, we have to let go. And when we're in that space, which is why the fear program, this works hand in hand, people don't want to let go because it's scary out there when you don't know anything, or to be by yourself, or to be in a codependency grid. To be by yourself is scary. So we don't want to let go of what we've learned and what the friendships we've made and all that stuff. So we keep ourselves from learning new things, or letting go of old ways in order to stay in that comfort zone. And that's another version of how that is difficult to kind of maneuver around or within, personally and interactively. So I just wanted to share that with people as another version of seeing what's going on here. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, peace, love, and harmony.